What's up, YouTubers? Hi. What's going on? We are restringing today. It's the Sunday right after Thanksgiving. Hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving with friends, family, both, etc. A weird one this year for us. We were missing one, obviously, as you guys know, from the update video. Which, thank you all for the great comments on the last video I posted. Just over now 2 months since my father passed. Strange times. But I appreciate all of the comments on the last video. I haven't responded to them, but I saw them, and I still see them. So thank you for that. Today, we're restringing my 335. I've always loved these videos where, you know, someone like Tom Bukovac is on his bench and he restrings and just rambles. It's like your get ready with me in the guitar world. But I guess more accurately, it's restring with me. It'll be much more accurate. That's what we're doing. A common question I get asked is, how often do I restring my guitars? And that depends. I now currently own one guitar. So this could be every other week, you know, every 2 weeks. Just really depends on how much I'm teaching, and outside of teaching, how much I have the guitar in my hand. And throughout that time, I do clean my strings religiously with a brush. Dirty strings, I don't like. I like crisp strings. In a perfect world, I'd restring every week, but you can't do that. It costs money. The strings that I use are Diodario EXL 11 to 49. To me, they just work and sound how I like them. NYXL are just too bright for my liking. I guess you can say they are the superior string. But they're just a bit too bright. For the longest time, I used another brand, and I used their 11 to 52 gauge string. And that was phenomenal. Really a great set. But over time, it wasn't super sustainable. Because there was a point where I did encounter some pain on my wrist, my right wrist and my left wrist. I changed to 10 gauge strings and then slowly made my way back to a standard 11 set. They just feel the best to me. So that's what we're doing today. Maybe once a month when I restring, I'll do the full cleaning. You know, where I'll clean the fretboard, clean the body, clean the hardware, etc. But today is just strings. I tend to go or I try to go for, 1 wrap above the string and 2 wraps below the string. That's just my preference. Everyone's different. So, some cool stuff. This week is most likely New Guitar Day. Very lucky to essentially have finalized a deal on a one owner 1962 Gibson Les Paul, in parentheses SG, which is just a work of art of a guitar. Does that make sense? Comes from a store in Wichita, Kansas. And over the past couple of weeks, been communicating with the seller because the guitar is on consignment. And finally, everything has worked out and a deal has been made. So hopefully sometime this week, I'll have a new guitar. Which I'm very lucky, very grateful to have. I'm not one to own a lot of guitars. The most guitars I've owned at once has been 6. And mostly this year, I went down from 5 guitars to 1 guitar, my 335. My dad would always say, or my dad taught me a lot about the idea of need versus want, you know, and I take a lot of that mentality when it comes to a lot of things in guitar, in clothing that I like, in a lot of aspects of my life. And one of them, need versus want in guitars, is yes, you want a lot of guitars. You want a guitar, or let's say you want every guitar to have its own unique voice. You want the P90s, you want the Telecaster, you want the Jazzmaster, you know. But when you look, or let's say you take a step back, that's when I would say, but what do you really need? You know? And for someone like me who mostly does teaching, I don't need 7, 8, 9 guitars. You know? I have one 335, and hopefully this week, a Les Paul SG. You know? And that's perfect. Would I like a Strat? Yes. Would I like a Telecaster like Robin Ford? Yes. Do I need them? No. I am happy with the guitars I have. I'm happy with 1 guitar. Amp-wise, a different story maybe. The amps have their unique voice. You know, my deluxe reverb does not sound like my Bandmaster, and none of those 2 amps sound like the Tweed Pro. But I guess you heard it here first. The Tweed Pro will be on the chopping block once I get it from Los Angeles to Fort Lauderdale. Yeah. Sad to see it go, but the guitar for me is more important than having 3 amps. And the reality is, I use my deluxe reverb for everything. Almost all my YouTube videos are deluxe reverb, and a majority of the time when I teach, it's deluxe reverb through the aux. It's a really great amp, that deluxe reverb. Super lucky to own it. Another thing I want to talk about, or I guess we can talk about, is Black Friday. Did anyone get that one piece of gear they wanted? I saw Sweetwater was having, I guess, a pretty big sale. I saw some people on my Instagram feed get some really cool stuff. I saw Philip McKnight. He got one of these like 1 watt Friedman amps for $100. That's super cool. Sweetwater is great. My only it's hardly an issue with Sweetwater is that if you order a tuner or like you order a set of strings, a week later your sales engineer will be like, "Hey man, how you liking the tuner? Are you in tune? Just wanted to check in." You know, they're like, "Hey Gabe, saw you walking the dog and see you didn't have your tuner with you. Do you want a Snark portable tuner? You can just put it on the leash and you're walking in tune." And you're like, "No, I don't. One tuner is perfect. Stop calling me." A buddy of mine bought the Diodario humidifier set for his acoustic guitars. And I think he's already gotten calls like 5 or 6 times saying, "Hey man, just checking in on you. Just wanted to make sure they're all working. Hey man, it's Black Friday. Let me know if you need anything." He spent $20. You don't have to call him every single day. Which is funny. Teaching is going well. Doing a lot of Grateful Dead teachings. A lot of blues as well. Like focusing on Eric Clapton phrasing, etc. Theory, chords. A lot of really fun stuff. And there's always this moment where, how do you say it? Where the student, you can tell it's the calculations are happening in their head. It's like that scene in The Hangover where Zach Galifianakis is going down the escalator and you see all the equations going in his head, right? Kind of like that, and they come back the next week with a big eureka moment. And it's just like, I told you. You knew exactly what you were questioning. You knew it. You knew the answer. You just didn't know maybe how you got there or sort of how to express it. And that's so much fun, seeing that moment. Because we've all been there, you know? We've all had that moment where you're at your desk, your back hurts because you're leaning down on the guitar to sort of see the whole fretboard, and it doesn't click, and then a couple days later, eureka, it's all there. It's so much fun. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So the guitar is restrung. Flawless. Perfect tuning. Now the fun part. Tuning and stretching. Wow, all those strings look amazing. Stretching strings is super important. You have to stretch your strings a ton before, I don't say before you're ready to go, but a lot of stretching goes a long way for the string to break in, loosen up a bit. It's very important. If all goes well, this video will be no cuts. My iPad said we're going on 17 minutes. That's pretty fun. This is not a everyday type of video, honestly. Not there yet. Now the fun part, stretching. This little Music Nomad equipment care really makes you seem like a professional guitar tech. Really makes you think you know what you're doing. I feel like I can refret a guitar, even though I really can't. I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to frets. But I do know the action I like. Stretch, 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 stretch. Let's see it again. Getting there. We are getting there. It's funny because I'm thinking about, you know, how Tom Bukovac talks in these videos. Not trying to mimic him, but he talks about football, and I want to be like, did anyone watch New York FC versus Inter Miami last night? That was a game. What was it, 5-1? Inter Miami beat New York City and it's off to the MLS Cup final against Vancouver next week. The last time, most likely, Thomas Muller and Messi will meet in a final. Nice. Let's see how it sounds plugged in through my Blues Junior amplifier. Not really the best amp, but it works. It's all that matters. Nice. It works. A little out of tune, but we'll keep noodling and keep tuning. That rhymed. All right. That's today's video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.